Friday. How you doing? It's your boy Dusty over here on the West Coast. One more time, San Jose, California. Hope it's beautiful where you are, because it's a beautiful time here. Gorgeous day. You get the truck smog today. There goes more money. But, you know, we gotta get it done. Gotta get it done. Gotta be an adult. But with us tonight is a comic genius. He is Tony.
Oh, hey everybody.
Hey Tony. You know what? How do you say your last name? Because I think I'm saying
Fleecs.
Fleece.
Yeah, like wool.
Fleece like wool. I've been calling it Fleecs.
A lot of people do. The C is silent.
Ah, Fleece. Mr. Fleece. Yeah. Tony Fleece is with us. How are you doing today?
I'm great, man. Thank you. How's everything over there?
It's a beautiful day.
Good.
It's a beautiful day in paradise.
Well, I'm very excited to be here.
Oh, thanks for coming, man. I know
you. That picture, that's one of my least fat pictures. The drawing is not super great, but I look okay, so that's what's important.
Are you kidding me? That's awesome. That's like Twilight Sparkle all over the place.
Love it.
You can sell those things as like icons for people on Twitter. You know, just color them up. There you go.
If I didn't have other work to do, I would totally do. That's what I'm going to do when I hit the skids.
Yeah.
I'm going to start selling Twitter icons.
There you go. You're busy today. I mean, geez, you've done work all day, and you've got stuff to do tonight before you leave tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I'm heading to Comic-Con on tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend lives down in San Diego, so I'm heading down there to stay with her tomorrow night, and then Comic-Con's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a 5-day show now.
Yeah, it's a 5-day show. It's probably going to be a 7-day show if they really wanted to.
Yeah, if they had their way.
That thing.
But yeah, there's I've got Princess Celestia covers to do tonight, and I got to do a layout for issue 11 cover.
What's issue 11 going to be?
I guess it's going to be the first part of the new Katie and Andy story arc. They're doing the 2-part Big Mac thing in 10, and then 11 is the start of another 2-part arc. I think 2 or 3-part.
Nice.
The one I'm only doing one cover for that.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I have like at least 2 covers, but they've got me working on the annual now.
Right.
And so.
Yes, the Equestria Girls annual, which was just announced.
Yes, highly controversial.
Highly controversial. Not with me. I'm looking forward to it. So,
good. Well, you're one of the good ones, Dusty.
Yes, because I'm a comic guru. I love comics. I love comics in all different forms and shapes. I like trash can. I like big. I like magazine. I like it all. So having you here is like got me going squee on the inside. It's awesome.
Well, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about comics.
Let's talk about it. What is a little of your background on how you got started in art? Did you have any special school you went to, or did you just pick up a pen and just start flying?
Both. I mean, I've been drawing. I think everybody who draws has been drawing since they were like 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah.
You know, my folks used to take us to church, and I would be bored, and so they would give me. You remember in the back of the pews at church, there would always be little pieces of paper.
Yeah.
They'd give me those to draw on. I would draw on tons of those, and that sort of led into my dad bringing home paper from work, and I'd draw on that, and then eventually they would put me in cartoon classes after school, and then I went to, you go through enough high school that you don't have to take a full course load anymore, so then I just filled up all my other classes with art classes, and then I went to art school, and then I went and got an art job, like as a graphic designer, and then I eventually made my own comic book, and at that point quit having a regular job and just started sort of freelancing full-time.
Nice.
And then I started drawing My Little Pony. That's sort of the abridged version.
The abridged version. I did my own little mini comic back in the 90s, too. So
what was it called?
It was called The Highwayman.
Really? What was it about?
It was about an anthropomorphic deer who was traveling the country on his bike, getting in and out of trouble. He was actually being chased by the mob for something.
You still have these?
I have a few of them, yeah.
I will trade you. I'll send you a copy of my first book if you send me the Highway.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can dig those out of my storage.
We'll exchange addresses after this. I want to see what you were getting up to.
Doing it. Okay, cool. Artistic influences. Who are your favorite comic artists and why?
I have a pretty wide and differing group of influences. Some of my favorites are like I love Will Eisner.
Mm-hmm.
I love Bill Sienkiewicz. I love John Romita Jr.
Oh, yeah.
I love Joe Madureira. I think if I had my druthers, like if I could draw as good as I want to, I would draw like Joe Madureira.
Nice.
But I draw like me, and
what about something out there like Matt Howarth? Those annoying Post Brothers.
I don't know.
Oh my goodness! I need to turn you on to him.
All right.
Good stuff. Yep. Anything out there in the comic land that you think we should really be picking up on? You know, a lot of people have just, I'm a comic geek, so I like a lot of comics. But somebody who's picking up the MLP comic for the first time, I'm just picking up comics, right? So what is out there that you see that these people should also pick up, or at least look into?
That is a really good question, because I meet a lot of people at signings and pony events that sort of are coming to comics by way of My Little Pony that aren't reading anything else yet, and they're sort of surrounded. These things happen at a comic store or a comic convention. They're surrounded by stuff. I think it's like a good opportunity to turn them on to stuff. So far, I've recommended Saga to Bronies, and it seems to be a pretty close match. It's a more it's an adult book. Like there's violence and nudity and swearing and stuff, but I think the sensibility is sort of right for Bronies and pony fans. It's a sci-fi book, but it sort of takes place in this world where in this really strange and absurd universe. It's written by Brian K. Vaughan, who did Why the Last Man and Runaways, and it's drawn by this lady Fiona Staples, who's amazing. It's really good. It's called Saga. It's from Image Comics. Chew's really good also. It's also sort of adult, but more just in language and violence. But it's about a guy that is a detective who has superpowers. He can eat, like if he tastes an apple, he can tell you what orchard it was grown in and like who planted it. But also, if somebody's murdered, he could like take a bite of their finger and tell you who killed him, where he died, and why. It's called Chew. It's really good.
Wow, interesting. I try to turn people on to Stan Sakai and Usagi Yojimbo as many times as I can, because it's awesome.
It's amazing. Like he can tell story like nobody's business.
Yeah, he's a storyteller amazing storyteller. Which comics did you read growing up? What influenced you as a comic? What were you reading? What was the young Tony Fleecs reading?
I read a lot I sort of read, because I'm 34. So when I was a young teenager, about the age when you get into comics, was when the 90s boom happened, which in comics is sort of this derided period of time where people think that terrible comics were happening. And to be fair, terrible comics were happening.
To be fair, Rob Liefeld.
Yeah. Well, listen, I love Rob Liefeld, so that's
but back then, guy couldn't draw an ankle to save his life.
No, he still draws the same. I get it. I just love him. Yeah. That's just me. But yeah, I mean, that's the sort of stuff I was reading. I liked X-Force. I liked these X-Men, Spawn, and all that stuff. That's sort of what I came in reading, and I didn't really start to appreciate comics as something that has a writer as well until like Sin City happened, and then I got into Frank Miller and worked my way backwards through like Batman Year One and Dark Knight Returns, and then I sort of found that class of 1986, Watchmen and Mouse and everything that happened that year, and that sort of spit me out a different direction. Whereas now I'm interested in writers probably way more than I'm interested in artists.
Yeah. Speaking of writers, I got over my shoulder here one of your Pulp novel covers, which are really cool.
Thanks.
Tell me a bit about your Pulp novel cover project.
Well, I had a buddy who was going to shows and making a lot of money doing like 11 by 17 color prints of superheroes, and he had done sort of stuff that was classy enough that you could hang up inside. Okay, yeah. And that was the main thing, because when you're thinking about conventions, you've got a wide swath of people. It's single guys, it's ladies, it's married people, younger and older, and there's certain things that everybody likes. Everybody likes boobs, generally.
Okay. Yeah.
Even if you don't like boobs for yourself, you sort of can see where people are coming from on boobs. But, so you want to draw that.
Yeah.
But you don't want it to be tasteless.
Correct.
So you want to sort of class it up a little bit. What I found was I wanted to draw something and design something that a guy would want to buy if he liked sexy cartoons.
Okay.
And his wife would be okay with him bringing home and putting up somewhere. That's sort of the sweet spot.
Nice.
For me. So I love pulp novels. I like Raymond Chandler. I like the paintings of Robert McGinnis and Bob Peak and these sort of like 60s lifestyle illustrators. You know, like that's a lot of what my influences are too. And I wanted to sort of take all that and funnel it into something. So I sort of invented this. I didn't really invent it, but you know, it's a mashup. It's a world where instead of comic books, there were pulp novels, or instead of movies, there were pulp novels. And so I made like 16 of those. And when I go to shows, I sell them. And when I'm not at shows, I don't sell them.
They're absolutely awesome. I mean, if you go to his site, guys, and check those out because they're really, really cool. If you're into like old school type comic book stuff and old school pulp novels, they're really, really neat. Really love them. Then that brings us now to IDW. IDW comes up to you and says, "Hey, Tony, we got this IP called My Little Pony. Would you like to work on it?" What's the first thing that goes through your mind?
I say yes. First thing that goes through my mind.
Yes.
Now, what happened was I had been in talks with Bobby Curnow, who edits the My Little Pony books. Totally good guy. And he also edits Ninja Turtles and Godzilla and all these other books over there. And I had just been introduced to him and was sending him artwork periodically. And I was trying out for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
And at the time they said, like, Nickelodeon says this is too cartoony for Ninja Turtles, which is fine. I don't really like. Some people think that's offensive, but I have no problem with that. Like, I draw cartoony. I'm a cartoonist, so that's fine. But that meant I didn't get that job, so I sort of had to chill out for a while. And then when they started talking to Hasbro about doing My Little Pony, Bobby came to me and said, "Could you do like a sample piece for us to show Hasbro that this is what our comics might look like?" So I knocked one of those out. Anytime I talk with these kind of guys, I try to do it as fast as possible because I'm not only showing them that I can do what they want me to draw, I'm also showing them that I can do it really fast, which is a benefit, and it can sort of get me in trouble sometimes where I'll take on too much in too short a time. Anyway, I knocked it out really fast, and then I didn't hear anything for a while, and in the interim, they got the job, or the license, that is, and Katie and Andy got hired to do the main book.
Right.
They sold 100,000 copies, and then they came back to me and said, like, "Hey, we're doing a ton of these covers. Would you like to work on covers?" And that's how it sort of started.
Yeah, because I have a lot of your covers.
I've done a lot of covers. I think I've done over 60 covers at this point.
Yeah, it's hard to get them all, especially when you've got the double jetpack Larrys.
Yeah, they ain't. They are not affordable.
They are not affordable. No, they're like 20.
They just send them to me, so I have them. Yeah.
God.
Just mine. I don't have all of everyone's.
Dang. I love the Cheerly Big Mac one you did with the Greek outfits.
Thanks, but I did that for you. I had a feeling that you might dig that.
I dug that hard, buddy.
I think I did it right after the Los Angeles thing. Where we met. Said that guy would probably be into this.
Sweet.
You're welcome.
Put it up over my shoulder here in just a second. Yeah, there it is. Loved it.
It was tough because I'd already done an Applejack, and I knew that the story was going to be about Big Mac, so I had to sort of figure out who I was going to pair him with. So I figured you'd dig it if it was Shirley.
Oh, absolutely. Dug it, man. Thank you very much. Because I got to pick that one up. It's the only one of the ones I don't have yet, but I'm going to get it. Here's one. Here's a screwball for you. As an artist and a writer, because you do write comics, and you've done interior, you've done whole books.
Uh-huh.
Do you ever get a script that you just want to go, dude, really? It's like, dude, really? We're gonna go in this direction? Like, do you ever want to just like rewrite something before you draw it? And have you ever done that and not told them?
I've never done that and not told them.
Okay.
I don't really. With scripts that I get sent, usually if I'm collaborating, like I do on My Little Pony, I'm getting paid, and so I generally am just like, okay, well, this sounds good. If there's something where I can see an easy way to make the story better, I'll usually reach out to the editor or to the writer and say like, hey, what about this? But I don't really get too upset about it.
Right.
I generally will just say like, maybe we could do this, or if I drew it this way, it would probably make this easier to understand or more clear. My secret is I don't know. I know more about My Little Pony than any of my friends.
Okay.
But I know much less about My Little Pony than any pony fan. So if the scripts come in and they have there's like pony problems, like character problems, I wouldn't catch it.
Okay.
So I just draw it like it says in the script. But I do also do my research where if it says this has got this character, then I'll YouTube up the episodes that have that character and sort of get familiar with it. Okay. Or like with the Equestria Girls annual, they sent me the Equestria Girls and I watched that.
Right.
So now I know what's up with Equestria Girls.
Cool. I actually don't have a copy of the Rainbow Dash micro series yet.
Okay.
I have to get that.
It's out for months, man. What's going on?
I know, but here's a page over my shoulder. The way you drew the rainboom was awesome.
Oh, thanks.
I loved it. It's like I've got this big Rainbow Dash on my shoulder, on my my bicep. I'm going, God, I gotta incorporate that somewhere.
It was to sort of do the static version of that. Because in the show it works so well as an animated piece, but to figure like what a graphic version of it is, it was sort of tough to come up with. I got to do the double Sonic Rainboom in later in the issue. Spoilers.
Ooh, spoilers. No spoilers. In comic art, I've seen a lot of your stuff, and I saw you at the convention, and you do almost everything in pen and ink on paper, analog style. A couple of my friends work in digital, who actually do work in the industry. So do you see, being on the inside, more and more and more and more comic companies want you to work in digital? Is it faster for them? And do you see like what you do going away, in your career time?
Well, what I do, I do most of what I do digitally. On My Little Pony. Okay. When I was at the show, I can do commissions and stuff like that in pen and ink and with markers and stuff. But the piece you got up there, I mean, that's all Photoshop, except for the line art, which I do in pen and ink, mainly just so that I have something like an artifact that I can sell or that I can hold on to or give to somebody as a gift. If I was really serious about being fast, I could probably shave another couple days off of an issue if I just did it all digitally. Okay. But as it stands right now, I turn in a finished product to the to IDW. Some of the other guys that do covers do fully traditional, either with markers or with paint. I know Stephanie Bashima does like a gouache thing,
right?
And Andy Price does sort of like a mix of inks and markers. So they're like doing a completely traditional piece and scanning that and turning it in, which I have a suspicion they're just doing because they want like a way more expensive piece of original art to sell.
Oh, there you go.
Because it seems like it would take forever, but they do these beautiful, fully finished pieces, and I am more on the side of just cranking them out. So I do my stuff digitally as far as colors and finishes, and that way I can do like 2 in a day if I really, really have to.
Nice.
Which is what I'm doing today.
What you're doing right after the show. You have a couple of, speaking of San Diego Comic-Con and special covers, you have a couple of special covers coming out at San Diego Comic-Con, which aren't only pony. Tell us a bit about it.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, I do a lot of the covers for My Little Pony, so they hit me up a couple of months ago and asked me to do one that was like an Abbey Road / Comic-Con / Ponies match, which would be their Comic-Con exclusive, which it turns out is like the Diamond Comics IDW My Little Pony Comic-Con exclusive. So IDW has one that's got vinyl scratch, the big vinyl scratch head that you've seen. That's Andy's. You get that at the IDW booth.
Okay.
Mine is the Beatles looking one, and that's a Diamond booth. Everybody has like their own exclusives that you get wherever.
Right.
So at the Diamond booth, you get one of 5,000 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive number 9 covers, and I think it has the additional 8 pages. I won't know what it's like, what it's about until I see it in person, because I just turn the stuff in, and then they'll send it to me, and I'll be like, oh, okay, this is what it is. But the 8 pages is going to be sort of prequel stuff for the Equestria Girls annual.
Nice.
It leads in between Katie and Andy's comic stuff into the Equestria Girls, and then that's going to be reprinted at the beginning. I think at the beginning. I don't. Like I say, I'll just turn my stuff in, and then those other things. Anyway, but also I'll have the original art for that up for raffle at the show.
Nice.
So I'm selling raffle tickets for $5. You come by my booth, and I'll have like pony comics and prints, and I'll be doing commissions. And then for $5, you can buy a ticket, and you write down your cell phone number or your email and your name. And then Sunday at noon, I'll be picking a winner, and somebody will get the original 11x17 artwork from the San Diego Comic-Con cover.
Nice.
So that's sort of a big experiment at Comic-Con. I'm going to see how that goes.
Wow. That's going to be awesome.
Could be I sell one ticket and sell that thing for $5, which would hurt my feelings.
Yes, make me cry.
I'm prepared to take a chance.
I'm going to mail you $5. It's like, I'm in.
I'll mail you it.
That leads me into my next question. Where are you going to be at San Diego Comic-Con? So if my viewers are going to be there, where are they going to find you?
Oh, yeah. Come find me. I'm at booth 2103, which is sort of in the middle up front. It's kind of close to where DC Comics is. If you're familiar with Comic-Con, it's where the Goon and Strangers in Paradise usually are, like in that area. So if you've been to Comic-Con, I'm over there. It's like in the front, middle, right. 2103 is the booth number, and in your program it'll be Dial R Studios, which is some buddies of mine who I'm setting up with this year. But I'll have a big banner up. It'll be the cover of issue number 8 with the Nightmare Rarity.
Oh yeah. So
you'll see that. It'll have my name on it. Then you'll see the original artwork, and then you'll see me, bearded, tired, sweaty, my girlfriend, beautiful, and then just all my artwork, and that's where I'll be.
It'll 21. It'll look a bit like this.
That's the one. That is the banner. Hey,
yeah.
My man, Dusty.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I love that cover.
That's one of my favorites too.
Yeah. Okay, so where are we at? A couple more questions. Superhero movies.
Yes.
Yes.
I've seen.
No. Maybe. Good. Bad. Indifferent.
Well, it depends. I'm for some of them. I'm against others. Are you up to date? Have you seen Superman?
I've not seen the new Superman yet. Last one I saw was the last Iron Man. And I
like that one.
Yeah, I missed Avengers.
You didn't see Avengers?
I gotta go see Avengers. I know.
Oh my God.
I know.
It's been out for like a year and a half.
I know.
You have Netflix?
I'm busy doing a show.
It's on Netflix.
I'll get it on Netflix, but I'll watch it. But
yeah.
I've been in the Iron Man series, so I've been sort of like in the Iron Man series.
Well, Avengers is in the Iron Man series. You know that counts.
Well, it kind of counts. Okay, it doesn't say Iron Man at the front of it. It kind of counts.
He's on the poster.
It's a side project.
You watch Avengers.
I'll go watch it tonight. Okay, I'll watch it tonight.
Yeah. I know you have exciting things coming up. You got announcements about BronyCon.
Announcements about BronyCon. I got announcements about all kinds of stuff. I got announcements about, what we're going to do on charity. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about charity.
Yeah, well, you know what? We're going to go to commercial.
Okay.
When we come back from commercial,
all right.
We're going to talk about charity. We're going to talk a bit more about comics, and we're going to talk about upcoming conventions, right?
Sounds good to me, man.
Awesome, man. So we'll be back in just a minute. All right? So hold on.
From a skilled hand, chaos becomes harmony. Design becomes art. Dreams become reality. Jewelry by Chaotic Brony.
Was this jewelry?
That's Chaotic Brony Jewelry. Chaotic Brony Jewelry. And everybody knows Chaotic. He's awesome. He's a friend of the program, and he makes all that jewelry by hand from scratch. Awesome.
Give the URL one more time.
URL is chaoticbrony at deviantart.com.
Fantastic.
So go check that out. And we're back, and we're going to go through convention updates. Convention updates really quick. Guess what? BronyCon is coming up really, really fast, like 2 weeks. Oh my goodness, it's coming up. And you know what? I got, look at this. I have an announcement, a press release right here from the good people at BronyCon. Let's see what this says. I wonder if I should keep this for later. Nope. We're going to do it right now. One, pre-registration ends tonight at midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific, which is only like 3.5 hours from now. So, if you're going to get registered, you need to do it tonight. If you don't wait in that long line con that's going to be happening there, because they've already got 5,000 plus pre-reg. Huge numbers. So, you want to get this done. So, here is the press release. Guess who's coming now? Guess who's going to show up now?
Not me.
I wish.
Me too.
Wish you were. But G.M. Barrow is going to be there. G.M. Barrow, writer of all the wonderful little novels that have been coming out. Pinkie Pie just got released. So she is going to be there. Not only that. Maddie Peters is going to be there. Maddie Peters, yes, Scooty Lou herself is going to be there. So if you haven't registered and you've thought about going, now is the time. Now is the time to go. So that is going to be awesome. Remember, registration ends tonight, midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. You need to get it done. Awesome.
What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? What are you? I'm going to be there. Screwball is going to be there. You want to be us, right? Heck yeah.
Fizzle.
And then the Europe cons are coming up. Europe cons, GalaCon is coming up August 3rd and 4th in Ludwigsburg, Germany. And they're having Andrew Libman and Peter New, as well as Aneely Heed, who is Swedish Spitfire, we all know. And Michael Pan, who's the German voice of Discord. That's going to be fun. And Julie Buskies, I think. French Rarity. I'd love to hear Rarity speak in French. Oh, man.
Also,
it's gotta be.
I believe they're having Dieter Laser from the Human Centipede. He'll be there.
Really?
No,
I didn't think so.
He's terrifying.
Wait a minute. No. Buck is coming up after that, August 23rd, 25th, Manchester, UK. Cindy Morrow, and they announced Michelle Krieber last 2 weeks ago, so they are awesome. They're going to have a huge music show, Living Tombstone, Acoustic Brony, Glaze, General Mumble, many more. Check out their website for that. My appearances, I will be at BronyCon along with Screwball, but after that, I'm going to be at Sac Brony Expo, September 14th. That's a Saturday, one-day event. I'll be there with Apple Cider and Bronyville. And Canterlot Con in Toronto, November 16th and 17th. I'll be there with Arena Chan, DJ Midley, Jesse Nowak, Hot Diggity Demon, and Beam Pegasus 5, who's a really great DJ. He'll be there too. So, yes, and if any convention, anybody out there wants me to pimp something, their convention, send me a message at dusty@manliestbrony.com, and I'll get you into the list. And with that,
I'm going to do my conventions real quick then.
Okay, do it right now.
Comic-Con, we just talked about.
Absolutely.
Tony Fleecs at San Diego Comic-Con, booth 2103. That's this Wednesday through Sunday in San Diego. If you don't have a ticket yet, you're screwed.
Get on it.
But if you're going to be there, come see me, 2103. I'll have all kinds of pony stuff. And then I'll be at the IDW booth a couple of times, and that'll be signings there. That'll be crazy. And then I'll be at the Hasbro IDW panel on Saturday, I think, talking about Equestria Girls Annual and all kinds of stuff. Check out my website for all the details, fleecedesign.com or Tony Fleecs at blogspot.com. After San Diego Comic-Con, let's see here, August 4th is Stockton Con in Stockton, where you can get your Stockton Con variant My Little Pony cover by me and Heather, the colorist. Pinkie Pie at Stockton Con, which is the most obscure convention variant cover I think that there will ever be. But I like those guys at Stockton Con. I'm pretty psyched that they had me do the cover, and psyched about going to that show. And then after that, I've got a signing at Jeffrey's Comics in Los Angeles on the 17th of August. My cousin Rachel's wedding on Friday the 30th of August. And let's see, after that, Cincy Con in Cincinnati, the 6th, 7th, and 8th of September. And that'll also be Katie Cook and Andy Price and me and a bunch of comic book artists in Cincinnati. Check that out at cincycon.com.
Awesome. When do you have time to work on anything?
During the week.
On the plane.
And also I just don't sleep.
And
and
don't sleep and on the plane.
Yeah.
I can see it now. And with that, we're into charity.
Let's do this.
We got excitement today in
Big
the charity
things.
section. So, one, we're doing a redraw. We're doing a redraw for Brenda Critchlow because the gentleman who won that disappeared. Can't find him. Didn't contact me. He's not on manliestbrony.com. He did not register on manliestbrony.com, which is part of what you need to do so I can find you. So, redraw for Brenda Critchlow stuff. So I got a hat full of names. Right here. Oh, that's the wrong hat. I got two hats going here. So, 2 hats, 2 drawings. So here is for the Brenda Critchlow stuff. This name right here. Who we got? Mr. Jason Nguyen. Jason, you get the Brenda Critchlow prize pack, which is right here.
Congratulations.
With the Brenda Critchlow poster signing, you get also the Pinkie Pie variant of Hot Topics comic. You get a Zakora blind bags, and you get a set of socks. All in a Hot Topic bag. So that is you all day long. All day long. So, we're done with Brenda. We go next to Seattle Children's Hospital. And you guys pulled it out. Pulled it out of the fire. Because on Tuesday we had nothing. We were dragging. We had like $140. Dragging. And I put out the call to Bronies. And I said, hey, the kids need your latte money more than you need a latte. And you all pulled through. You pulled through so hard, $1,100.
Hey.
In like 5 days. $1,100. Give yourself a nice round of applause because that is awesome. That also puts us as a group at over $10,000 for charity in the last 6 months.
Oh my goodness.
Awesome. Awesome, gang. Awesome. So.
Children should not drink lattes, by the way.
No, they shouldn't actually. They'd be bouncing off the walls. So, for that right here. We know what we got in that one, right? So we got all that stuff over there and a box of Season 2 cards. The box of Season 2 cards also available. So that's this bunch of names right here in this hat. So we're going to shake that up just a little bit more and pick a name. This one right here. Laura Lee Winter. Laura Lee, you win. So, I know Laura Lee. We met at Everfree Northwest, and it was awesome. So, Laura Lee.
Yeah, really? She's a sweetheart.
She is a sweetheart. She actually dressed up like a Wonderbolt and was so cute, hanging around with Snowflake. And you win that. So, I'm going to put that over there with that stuff so I remember that you won that. Now we get rid of these names. Put my hat on my head. There we go. Now, we move to Tony. Tony.
Hey.
Tell us a bit about your charity.
Today, we're playing for my charity, the Hero Initiative, which takes care of older and sicker comic book creators.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, when you make comic books, what you don't have is health insurance or a 401k or a retirement plan. I'm just saying, that's me right now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys that sort of came first, they didn't have that either. The people that created the comic books that you loved, now old and sick, or young and sick, and they need a little help. So the Hero Initiative is a great charity. It's run by my buddy Jim, and what they do is they raise money to take care of these guys that made the comics that we love so much as they are getting on in years. You know, if you got to go to the doctor, that ain't
Cost
cheap.
money.
Over where Screwball's at, free is what it's called.
Not here.
But not here. Canadian comic creators, they don't need a Hero Initiative. But here in the United States of America, Hero Initiative provides health care and help for comic creators in need. So
Absolutely, and they do need it. So, this week, we have for you, for a donation of $5 or more. Remember, go to manliestbrony.com, register on my site, then register on, take the link, register on that site so I know who you are and how to get a hold of you. Then give you money. Anything over $5. $5 is all you need, but anything over $5 is awesome. We do have a Rarities Generosity Hall of Fame on the Manliest Brony website. And check those guys out, because oh my goodness, are they generous. So, for this, I have one derpy knit cap. I have two Andy Fleecs cover My Little Pony comics.
That's Tony Fleecs.
Tony. Anthony? Tony. That's the same, isn't it? Tony.
Andy drew the inside of one of those.
That's true. He did, but you know what? They got your covers. So
that's right.
I think they're awesome. Now,
thank you.
That's enough right there. But
those are two good covers, by the way.
Two good covers. That's enough. But you know what? Out of the goodness of my heart, I went into my comic collection. Everybody knows I got a huge stack of comics, right? So I went into my comic collection. And I'm going to put in there myself. These are my comics from me. Death of Superman.
What?
Yeah, Death of Superman.
It's not in the black bag.
No. It's not the black bag, but
all right.
Death of Superman. So
still counts.
Still counts. Hard to come by.
Yes, sir.
Izagi Yojimbo Color Specials 1 and 2.
Awesome.
Also hard to come by. These are from Fantagraphics back in the 90s. Hard to come by. Put those in there too. And this might be the rarest thing you've seen yet.
Is it Highwaymen?
No. Space Beaver #1.
Oh, Derek Robertson.
Derek Robertson, who actually works for... What's he doing these days?
We just finished The Boys.
He just finished The Boys.
I don't know. He just did Happy with Grant Morrison at Image. I'm not sure what he's doing this moment.
But he did do Wolverine for a while.
Yeah, he did.
He did Wolverine for a very long time. This was the first thing that man ever did in comics. His own title. #1. I'm throwing that in. Now, that's...
Know your roots, kids.
That's the original set of prizes. But if we crack $500 this time,
here we go.
Tell them what they get.
You guys are going to get page, I think, 12. The original art from the Rainbow Dash Micro Series issue. It's an 11x17 pencil and ink number. It's on its way to Dusty right now via U.S. Postal Service, so it may never get there.
It may never get here.
If it does, and we crack $500.
If we crack $500.
It's a page of Rainbow Dash versus Lightning. And I think it's a pretty nice page. It's got some very nice lightning on it. So it's the original art, one of a kind. And if you crack $500, somebody's going to get that. So.
500 bills. We did so awesome on the last one. 5 bills is going to be nothing. Easy.
No problem.
You know what? That's going to be in my hands for a week, and I'm going to smile on it, and I'm going to put it up on the wall. I'm going to drool on it, and then I'm going to send it to you because I know you're going to crack 500 bills, and it's only going to be in my possession for a week.
I appreciate it.
And I'm going to cry because I have to send it to somebody else. But you get it. So get over there to manliestbrony.com and click, and then go and do your thing because I know you get to do your thing. You're awesome people. Screwball. Screwy. Where is he? Screwy.
Sorry, I was busy.
Busy?
Well, are you playing video games again? What's going on?
No, not this time. That is a no.
Busy. How busy could you be?
Oh,
There must be questions upon questions upon questions for this gentleman.
lot of comment questions.
I'll take
I will. I'll actually get right into it. So this one is from Imperius. A question for you, Tony. This one. Are the comics possibly leading to something much bigger in the show?
Are the comics leading to something bigger in the show?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's asking if the comics are actually leading into like season 4 and something huge.
No. Not that I know of. I get the scripts, and so that stuff's all put together beforehand. As far as I know, the comics are sort of to hold you over in the meantime before season 4, and then hopefully when season 4 happens, you continue to buy them.
Yes, I will.
We're not really working with Hasbro that closely, where like they're not in the writers' room with the show writers. We're not doing anything right now with Princess Twilight or anything like that. It's just wing-free, old-school Twilight Sparkle up until they decide to switch over. But as far as I know, comics are sort of the comic thing, and Hasbro's involved in as much as keep it in continuity and keep it correct, but we're not in the storyline leading up to season 4.
That actually kind of reminds me. I gotta ask this myself personally, and also I'm sure many other people probably wonder too. Is the comics actually canon with the show?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so.
It's 100% canon.
Yeah, it goes. It gets approved by the same people that approve the show. It's as in canon as a book or like a video game is. It's a licensed product. Here's how I think of it, because I like Star Wars, right? And as far as I'm concerned, Star Wars consists of the 6 Star Wars movies. If I had my druthers, it would consist of the 3 Star Wars movies, but it is 6 movies, and then also, if you like, there's all this other licensed stuff that counts. So there's like original Star Wars, and then there's extended universe Star Wars. All that counts, but if you want, you can just have Star Wars. So I think that's sort of where Ponies is. If you like the show, watch the show. And if you need more, there's more. And that's where we're at.
That's what we're at.
And people seem to need more because the comics sell a crap load.
Ton.
A ton. That's the correct way to say that.
A ton.
It's so weird to be on. Like, I come from independent comics, and it's so weird to draw a comic book that people care about at all. You know, like, or at least that thousands of people care about. My stuff, you know, hundreds of people care about if I'm lucky. So thousands is pretty nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So this one is from Bot117. Question for all: what is your favorite favorite book, comic, and or fan fiction that you have read in the past?
Ever?
Yeah.
Ever. Wow. That's a tough question.
It is. There's a lot of good stuff out there.
You guys go first. I'll be thinking.
Everybody knows that, you know, I'm an Ozagi Yojimbo fanatic. I love the book all the way back to the start. In fact, I have Albedo #2 with the very first Ozagi Yojimbo in it. So
Hey.
yes, that's about this is about $500 in my hand, people. But yeah, I'm Stan Sakai freak. Anything he does at all, if I can lay my hands on it and can afford it, I buy it. So.
Well, I guess my favorite comic book is Powers, which is a comic book about detectives who investigate superhero murder cases. That's from Marvel Comic Icon. It's written by this dude, Brian Michael Bendis, who's like a famous comic book writer. And drawn by this guy, Mike Oeming, who's also a super excellent comic book artist. That's probably my favorite comic. My favorite book? Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about my Ninja Turtle.
I know.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
I really like Perry. by Stephen King. That book is sweet. I don't know what my favorite book is. I find myself rereading the same books over and over, and I have a growing stack of new books that I need to read. So.
Well, I used to be a huge Tom Clancy fan. I read that all the time back in school, but since I went out and I really had the chance, I just got this enormous bookshelf of Tom Clancy books. And comic-wise, I actually haven't read much comics, but I'm just gonna go right on say the My Little Pony comics are my personal faves.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Treasury edition. That thing's awesome.
This thing is huge, dude.
I am all up in that.
I saw this thing at the comic store up in Seattle because we went to Seattle for lunch before we flew back, and I was like, man, this thing's huge. I gotta have it.
Yeah. They haven't sent me that yet. They're supposed to have it in a box for me at IDW.
Nice.
Oh, you know what else is a great book? And I don't think this connects with My Little Pony at all, but there's this author called Lawrence Block, who I love, who does mystery novels, and that's me.
Yep.
But he did a book called When the Sacred Gin Mill Closes that is a super awesome detective novel that I recommend. Mm-hmm. So, if you're watching My Little Pony and you're waiting for season 4 to start, I would recommend When the Sacred Gin Mill Closes. I drew the knees wrong on that. The internet had me.
Oh, it's kind of...
Pony knees go backwards. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I do it right now. Oh, those are my first ones, actually. That's my first cover.
Yeah, it's cool. I love seeing them so big. Like huge.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I think it's almost original size.
Almost.
So when the original shows up in the mail, it'll be a little bit bigger than that.
Sweet.
All right, questions. Hit me.
Do it. Questions.
So this one is from Gavin Japp. Question for you, Tony. What was your first Comic-Con like?
It was weird. I didn't go to a Comic-Con until I had already started. I was working on my first comic book by the time I went to a Comic-Con, so I was sort of already doing comics professionally in sort of like the lowest form that you could be, where I was writing and drawing my own book. But I went to Comic-Con in Chicago, and I met people, and there was already an internet, so it was easy to meet people and sort of have people that you knew already from online, and it was cool. Like, it's intimidating, especially just going to Comic-Con. Luckily, I had a couple of friends from the comic store that I shopped at, and they wanted to go too, so it wasn't as scary as just going on your own, which I've had to do a couple times as a professional, where, you know, you're the only one going to a thing and you just got to jump on a plane by yourself and go get a hotel by yourself. That's sort of intimidating, but Comic-Con's cool, especially if you got somebody to go with. Bronies have got like a good internet community too, right? Like, it's an inviting situation, the conventions, right?
Oh yeah, everyone's invited. Everyone loves being there. It's like a great big party.
Yeah, it seemed like a really nice environment. I went to the Equestria LA show. Mm-hmm. It seemed like a real sort of like a togetherness, friendship being magic and whatnot situation.
It's amazing. I went to Comic-Con in '94.
That was the last one you were at?
The last one I was at was '94. And I'm walking around because I got like a creator badge because I was doing my own comic at the time. And I'm just walking along and I see this elderly gentleman just sketching all by himself. And nobody's giving him the time of day. And I just catch a little bit of what he's drawing. It's like, that looked like Heckle and Jekyll. I turn to him and he's drawing Heckle and Jekyll. And I'm going, are you? He said, well, yes, I am. It's like, you're kidding me. You're like the creator of Heckle and Jekyll and absolutely nobody's giving you the time of day? The hell? I was like, he said, come. He sat down and he taught me how to draw for like 20 minutes. I was like, oh, I was freaking out.
For the young, Heckle and Jekyll are a pair of crows.
Yes.
Now, Heckle and Jekyll weren't racist, right? That was just the Dumbo.
No, that was just a combo. They were two crows that were basically sort of like, they were sort of like a crow version of Chip and Dale.
Okay.
of
Yeah,
duty,
yeah.
right? And basically, they were really, really popular in the 50s and the 60s, and they actually made it into Hanna-Barbera cartoons. So
Right.
he was like, but nobody gave him that time of day. I was like, you created these awesome characters, and it's like, no, oh my goodness. And I did that like 3 times. There were like these old school creators that just had nobody gave them the time of day. I was like, oh my god.
Sometimes I think it's people are either intimidated, or it could be, like they just like the new stuff.
Yeah.
I fear a lot of people at Comic-Con, especially nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people at Comic-Con don't even care about comics. They're just there because
movies and
you see the
and
Big
stuff.
Bang Theory, and you can see the people from Bones.
That
But now,
was one of the things I was going to ask you. Is like, in your opinion, should they just cut all that stuff out and give it its own convention on a different weekend? I mean, let's have a comic convention and everything that has to do with comics, right?
well, they do.
TV
They-
stuff can go.
The secret is they have a comic convention every weekend, and to different degrees, some of them are more or less about comics. There's some that are just pure comic book shows.
Right.
Some that are more, have the people from Battlestar Galactica shows. And I think there's a symbiotic nature where comic shows need that a little bit to bring in people who don't necessarily read comics. It's like My Little Pony. Like,
Right.
a lot of the people that I talk to at these pony signings, this is their first comic book. And that's cool because hopefully that means they'll read another comic book. Hopefully they'll continue to read My Little Pony,
Right.
and they'll pick something else up. So I don't necessarily hate that Comic-Con is all about Hollywood and stuff right now. I'm saying that today.
Right.
On Thursday, after I've been bumped in by 40 people who have never read a comic book in their life at Comic-Con, after my girlfriend gets knocked over in an aisle, then I'll think maybe they should rethink the way they run Comic-Con. But as for right now, I'm excited about it. Every year I get super excited for Comic-Con, and then it happens, and I'm like, ugh, I hate Comic-Con. And then
Then we're
a month before Comic-Con, I start to get super excited again. So that's the cycle.
next.
So this one is from Limestone Pie. For you, Dusty, are you going to get the Spike and Twilight plushies at Build-A-Bear when they come? Build-A-Bear when they come out.
From the laboratories of Duh. Yes.
That's a big yes. Now, is that Princess Celestia from Build-A-Bear back there, or is that something else?
No.
Yeah.
This is a custom. This is a custom.
Oh, okay.
White Dove Creations, who has been on the show, friend of the program. Now
Very nice.
this Rainbow Dash right here. This is Build-A-Bear.
That's a Build-A-Bear.
This is a Build-A-Bear. So,
Now,
not too bad for what they cost.
I haven't been in. Do they have like stuff? Can you? Because with Build-A-Bear, you can customize your.
Yeah, they've got dresses and they've got hair ties and they've got all this other stuff. Mostly it's the gala dresses. So
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Dig it.
I got Pinkie Pie back there and I got Rainbow Dash right here. And then
Have they done the whole main 6, or they're sort of slowly?
No, they're still wait. These were the first 2, and then Twilight and Spike are coming out in the fall, and in the spring they'll do 2 more, and then I guess they're just sort of milking it for a little bit. But they've sold out a Rainbow Dash. Oh my God, they sold out a Rainbow Dash nationwide within a week.
They're very popular.
Gone. Yep.
Goodness. So this one is from Leo Hardship. For Tony, have you ever snuck in an original character of yours or OCs of your friends?
I don't think so. As the closest I've come to sneaking, I put in the first issue I did the Rainbow Dash issue. There's these gremlins who are the villains of the issue, and I'm started toying with the idea of putting them in all the pony comics I do from now on. They're in the Fluttershy issue. I did Micro Series issue 2 and issue 4, and so in the issue 2 they first appeared, and then Amy Meverson and Heather Newford put the gremlins in, I think, issue like 5 of the main series.
Yep.
And then I snuck them back into issue 4. So they'll probably pop up in Equestria Girls when that comes out.
Yep. This one isn't your cover, but that's Fluttershy.
Yeah, that's Sabrina. How do you say Sabrina's last name?
Abajetti.
Abajetti. Yeah, she's very talented. Super cool.
Super cool person.
Yeah. But yeah,
Ooh, so this one. Oh.
Gremlin.
So this one is from Flare Runner to Tony. How do you get the inspiration for each cover, and how long does each one take?
It depends. I tend to think about the covers. The more time I have to sort of come up with it, it's either better, like it's more inspired, or it's worse, that I just think too long and too hard about it, and it just comes like the one I'm doing tonight, Princess Celestia. I sat around and thought about for probably a straight week. Like, I'm gonna have to hustle on it now because I couldn't figure out what I was gonna do. Other times, they'll tell me what they want. Like, they'll just either the retailer who the cover's for, or IDW, or the writer will hit me up and say, do the cover like this. And that's easy, because it's just the one you've got up right now, the ponies in jail. That's from the story. They said, put 5 of the main 6 minus rarity in jail cells. The jail cells look like this. Go. And so then it's just a matter of figuring out how to put them, how to organize them, and what they're all doing and stuff like that. So I kind of dig that. But then also, like, I did the fairy tale covers for all the main 6, and I did it for the Cutie Mark Crusaders too, which you haven't seen yet. And those were for the micro series issue, and that sort of came out of like a last minute, we got to get this cover done right away. What should we do? There was sort of a mix up with what the covers were originally going to be, and it just came down to like, we need to know what this is going to be right now. And so I said, well, what if one side was them as a filly, and then the other side is them as a pony, and then it's like fairy tale covers. So it's not like the deepest, smartest thing I ever did, but it's just, Twilight Sparkle will be Little Red Riding Hood and Alice in Wonderland, and then, just go with that. So, I don't know. And also they take me about a full day, all told, but it usually ends up being stretched out over 2 or 3 days to do a cover from concept all the way to color.
Wow. I gotta look into all the ones you've done, because I definitely recognize a bunch of them. I have a few friends who collect like every single cover, which is pretty freaking awesome. I have even let them know that we're interviewing you today, because all of them had to work, but I gotta get the YouTube and show it to them. They'll be like, what? No way.
I actually have a question from one of our viewers who couldn't be here tonight, so I wrote it down. If the IDW My Little Pony micro series was an anthology, with anyone up for grabs that you could grab, from Gilda to Mare, all of them, what character would you sign up for? What's your favorite character to actually do?
My favorite character to draw is Princess Celestia. I would like to do like a Princess Celestia Luna type story, or like a Luna when she was Nightmare Moon story. I actually that's my favorite to draw.
Oh, man.
So I would probably sign up for that. Also, I like Spike because he's not a pony. To draw. Yeah, I mean, I would probably sign up for Princess Celestia right off the bat. But Amy Meberson's doing that right now, and she's much better than me, so it's going to be super awesome looking. I'm way excited for that thing. She's great.
Go Screwy.
So also from Flare Runner, he just wants to ask, to Dusty and Screwy, are you hyped for BronyCon?
Duh. Yes.
Well, what do you say is... Would you say something from the duh?
Yeah, from the laboratories of duh, yes.
Yeah, that.
2 weeks?
2 weeks, yep. 2 weeks, first weekend of August. So I'm flying into actually Washington, D.C., and I got to take the train up to Baltimore. And then catch my hotel room. So it's going to be a bit of a trip, but we'll make it. Not a problem.
I went to Baltimore Con last year,
yeah.
And I'm not going to go back this year because they have it on the same weekend as a different show I'm doing, and I'm really bummed out because I like Baltimore a lot.
Yeah,
I was born in Baltimore.
I haven't been to Baltimore. I did New York, of course, last year. It was in Secaucus, New Jersey last year. So I just popped over on the bus and walked around Manhattan for a while. Saw my buddy in Brooklyn. It was cool. And now it's like first time to Baltimore, so it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be awesome.
Wow.
Next.
I haven't been that far over either. So this one is from I hope I say your name right, Zane. I hope that's right. To all, what is your favorite MLP comic cover?
That's tough because there's a ton of them.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think that if you want to go with a series of favorite covers, I think it's all of the superhero main six that Tony did. It's like just inspired. Loved it.
Yeah, those are tough.
Especially Rainbow Dash, Applejack. You know, it's like Rainbow Dash has got this really great, colorful spandex superhero thing, and then you got Applejack playing Tonto.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, I like that. She's sort of based on Danny Moonstar from the New Mutants. I don't know if you ever.
Oh yeah, I
was
thought of that.
What's she just called Moonstar?
I think so.
Anyway, yeah, it's sort of like a Native American theme. Because the other way to go is like cowboy, but I feel like everything's been done on that side. Yeah, Western character could also go Native American. My favorite covers, I really like Amy Meverson's stuff. Like she does some of my favorite stuff. I like the Breakfast Club looking cover she did for like number 5 or 6, where it's the main six and the Breakfast Club pose and Pinkie Pie popping down from the top corner.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
And then I really like Stephanie Bushima's covers. Any of them that she does, she always does super nice work, and she does fully painted stuff. So I'm a big fan. Yeah, that's Amy's stuff right there.
So cool.
Wow. I can't even think offhand. There's just too damn many.
The correct answer then is just my covers.
Yeah,
there you go.
The correct answer is like
all your
like
covers. Well, honestly, I'm gonna have I don't have time to pull it up, but I remember, I believe it was yours, the ones with the Shining. He's like wearing his full armor, and it sort of seems like all the ground is breaking around him and that sort of thing.
Yeah, Shining armor and Kate.
I just love those sort of badass looking ones. I don't know. I shouldn't even be saying ass, but
is ass
yeah.
Does that count?
Maybe.
I think when you say badass, it takes away the cursiness of the word ass.
Just say bad. Just say bad flank.
Bad flank. There we go.
And call it good. Speaking of bad flank, this one. That's bad flank right there.
Which one? Oh yeah.
Yep.
Those are. I like doing those. I like making up the armor.
Oh yeah.
It's sort of based on the armor that's in the show, but then I get to add some because it's sort of fantasy.
It is awesome.
They did a poll on EQD of like what clothing you think ponies are best suited in or something like that. And I would say armor. Socks won, but I think armor is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, socks is a big deal. What's that about?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
One of the fan artists started drawing the ponies in socks in suggestive poses, and it just became a thing.
I have to Google the ponies a lot for my job. I like when I have to draw something, I generally will just sort of make up a reference sheet, and it is a lot. There's a lot of filthy pony business on the internet. It's a wild scene.
It's a wild scene.
And we don't judge.
But
where do you guys stand on that?
I don't judge.
All right.
I've told people that.
I'm a very silent judger. Very silent. To the point of snapping, angry, but I hold myself back as best as I can. That's how I am.
Is this the loudest your judgment has ever been?
Pretty much.
Right
yeah,
now?
Actually, this would be my loudest.
Have I taken us down a path that we should move away from?
Yeah, we're moving on.
Okay.
It's turning into drama fast.
I judge no one. I'm just saying I have to see it a lot for my job, and it seems like I should get hazard pay.
Sometimes. Oof.
Is all I'm saying.
You should be hazard pay.
What let's talk, because while we're talking about Brony stuff,
Yeah, do it.
the Equestria Girls, you guys are into it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I
there-
loved it.
But there was a big, frightened, angry sentiment early on about the thing. What, like, and that happens all the time, right? Like, that happened with Twilight
It
Sparkle
happened
and
with Twilight
things.
Sparkle. It happened with a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, you're killing the show. Da 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 da. It's all going away. No,
Honestly,
I think everybody
the-
was. I think everybody was basically disappointed that when the pony did get a movie, they were human and
Right.
they weren't ponies. It's like because everybody loved the ponies. It's like okay, well, I from a businessman standpoint, because I've been a businessman before, understand where they went and why they went there. Okay, because they're trying to fight with Bratz and they're trying to fight with Nightmare High and they're trying to fight with these other IPs, and they needed something. Well,
Sure.
they went on the line and said, "Look, everybody's drawing the ponies as humans. Let's go here."
Right.
Logically, that's where they should have went, and they went there. And it was done fairly well. It was done by all the people that we love doing it, and it came out fairly well. Now, there are some plot holes. Yes.
Sure.
Are there some other problems with it? Yes. But it's a 90-minute animation movie. It's it's not freaking Gone with the Wind. Just suspend your belief for a little while and enjoy it.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's sort of like I've always been somebody who follows creators more than follows characters.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm a big My Little Pony fan. I'm super psyched that the people that make My Little Pony are going to make a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of the pony fans are fans of the ponies themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like just the characters are so beloved that you want to see them.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of did. I mean, it was just human versions of them.
Mm-hmm.
My like I say, I always go back to my nieces as a barometer of what's cool, and they are super into the Equestria Girls. They didn't get to see the movie yet. All they've seen is the trailer and stuff that I've shown them, because for some reason in Colorado where they live, they only had midnight screenings.
Okay, weird.
They did like a Rocky Horror thing. I think people are so confused and surprised by the fandom. You guys run into this, I'm sure, that they don't quite know how to react.
Well, that was the first thing that between season 1 and season 2, Hasbro didn't know what to do with us. They were confused. They were completely confused. I think they've gotten it now. I think they've got pretty much what it's about.
They're
But
okay.
that first year was like touch and go. They had no idea, right, what was going on, and it was a little weird. Hasbro would come out with things or not come out with things, or did certain things that we couldn't understand or why they did it or anything like that. But now I think it's better. I think they have more of a grasp on what's going on. So, the thing with Equestria Girls is everyone was going, "Oh my God, it's a human movie." But if you look at it, it's a 90-minute movie, but it had 15 minutes of ponies in it.
Sure.
You had the beginning and the end where she had to find out why she had to go find her crown, and when she came back from getting her crown. And basically, there was 15 minutes of that 90-minute movie that were basically pony.
And they had that cool, like, almost anthropomorphic fight scene. What's that called?
Yeah.
Where they just have the ears and the tails.
Anthropomorphous.
That's promorphous?
Anthropomorphics.
That is, too, when they just have the ears and the tails?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
well, basically, that was sort of like a costuming kind of thing. But
Yeah. I thought
anthropomorphism is giving human traits to any animal or inanimate object. That's
Right.
that's the same thing with milk and cheese.
Yeah.
So
That guy's a genius.
he is actually lives here in San Jose somewhere.
No kidding?
No kidding.
I hope to run
Back
into
in the day, Milk and Cheese and Dr. Radium and Samurai Penguin and
Right?
all those comics came out of San Jose.
Oh,
Johnny the
that's-
Homicidal Maniac.
I go up there for the big WoW show,
Yep.
which just happened a couple of months ago. I like San Jose quite a bit. I like that area. But yeah, it's weird that people see that there's this fan base, and the movie theater thing was just wild to me, because I think they heard that. Once you hear that about My Little Pony, that's all you can think about.
Yeah.
Because people come up to me when they hear that that's what I work on, and they're like, "Oh man, you hear about these bronies?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, they're cool. Like, they're nice guys. Also children. it's weird that my nieces couldn't go see the movie because a movie theater guy heard that My Little Pony was coming, and just all they can think about now is you guys, you know?
Right.
Just because it's like it surprises people. You know, it's like when you have a friend and you find out something about them that's different. That's all you can think about for a while. Yeah. And I think that's where My Little Pony's at with some people right now, where they think about My Little Pony and they just think about bronies. That's a lot of the times that's what I get asked.
I think it'll calm down. When I went to my showing, plenty of families, plenty of little kids. Everybody had a great time. They were singing in the theater. You know, we were doing brony songs before the thing. The kids were joining in. You know, everybody was nice to each other. It was wonderful. You know, there was nobody being, you know, a douche.
Yeah.
It was basically everybody was happy, and it was great watching the show with all these kids and seeing the demographic enjoy it, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and whenever I have a kid come up to me and know who I am and want my autograph and
right.
a picture or anything, it's awesome. It makes me feel warm inside, you know, that these kids are so into it, you know?
Well, I'm very excited about my nieces getting to see it because, like I said, I dug it, and I know they're going to freak out for it because they love My Little Pony and they also love teenage girls. You know, they're 6 and 7 years old. Like, girls that age love teenage girls. Yep. So it just makes sense, I think. I dig it. And I'm excited to not have to draw pony legs for pages. I have to hands.
Go Screwy.
I know that, is it September 1st is when Equestria Girls is going to air on the Hub, I think they said.
September 1st, air on the Hub. So.
I'll put something. Set the DVR.
Oh, I gotta watch that again. It was so good.
Question Screwy, grab some.
So this one's from Ryoichi. I screwed up. You know I'm feeling at this. Hey Dusty, greetings from Finland. First off, I want to say thank you for being awesome. For my question, do you have your 90s comics stored somewhere, and can we see it someday?
Well, yeah, they're in my room. I just showed you some of them. I'm giving away some of them. So some of these are my stock from my boxes upstairs. So in my bedroom is where they live. So
what are we talking? Like how many boxes?
Oh, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 long, 4 short.
Okay.
Full.
Yeah, that's kind of
a collection.
Yeah. So it's not bad. You know, I actually tapered off buying books for a while.
From Detroit when?
I moved from Detroit in '99.
So you had to bring those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They travel all over the country with me.
Chance to move with.
Yeah. So I've got Conan. I've got Lobo. I've got Spawn. I've got Outlanders. I've got Tales from the Universe. I've got Critters. I've got Zagio Jimbo. I've got the titles I've got huge. I mean, black and white titles from way back. Samurai Penguin. Space Beaver, you know, everything from the black and white era of the 80s that I really liked, I still have. So I didn't want to get rid of them. I still got them. I've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the 90s. I've got, you know, this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right here, which is an original, you know, back from the 80s. This was actually drawn by Eastman and Laird. I mean, this is rare. So I've got a lot of that kind of stuff. It's just all upstairs.
Oh, I did a Ninja Turtles cover.
You did. That's gonna be the special at San Diego, right?
That's at Comic-Con also at the Diamond booth. Also limited to 5,000, just like my My Little Pony cover. They let me draw the Ninja Turtles. Now that they're doing a cartoon, I'm not too cartoony anymore. So I got to draw a Ninja Turtles cover, and it was a hoot. I like drawing those guys.
Sweet.
So this one is from James Justice!
What?
He is our resident superhero of the program.
Sweet.
Comes every week. He can manipulate cornflakes with his mind.
Oh my God. Well, I'm so excited.
Absolutely. So what does James want to know this week?
For you, Tony, from me, he says, what comic book illustrators inspire you to start drawing?
Well, I said a few already, but I'll say some more. Comic book illustrators didn't really inspire me to start drawing. I was really into cartoons when I was younger, and the comics and the newspaper. Like I loved like Messy Marvin and Beetle Bailey and Garfield. Like I like to draw that type of thing. And then I really got into like Walt Disney cartoons and the Rankin and Bass cartoons and Bluth cartoons. So I was way into those sort of in my adolescence and post-adolescence. So if I was drawing stuff like junior high through high school, it was all pretty Walt Disney influenced or Don Bluth influenced. And then as I sort of got into comics deeper when I was in high school, I really got into guys like Arthur Adams, and Bruce Timm, and Alex Toth. I really like J. Scott Campbell, who did a pony cover that everybody hated. Because
you know what though?
Stick.
It looked like he mailed it in.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think he mailed that one in?
I think he mailed that one in.
Well, it's a weird thing with him because you want him on something with a pretty girl because he's like a master of that.
Right.
I just thought it was cool that he was doing one, in the first place.
Yeah, it was nice that he did it at all.
So, but it looked way different, and
it looked
frightened people.
Huge.
Yeah, but I love that guy. So yeah, that's a few.
Cool. So this one's from Nathan Barlow. To you, Tony, he was wondering. He makes these awesome original character pony art sets, like these posters, and he was wondering if you would like one for yourself.
Yes,
absolutely. Now let's discuss this. What is your pony? What is your original character? What does you look like as a pony?
I don't have one.
Then we're gonna
we have to fix
create
this
one right now.
Now, fix it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody else seems to have
We're
one.
gonna fix it right now. Okay. One of the three tribes: Earth, Pegasus, Unicorn. Which is it?
Pegasus.
Pegasus. Okay, we got a Pegasus.
All right.
What color is your Pegasus?
Brown.
Brown Pegasus. What color is your mane?
Mane and tail.
Mane and tail?
Yeah.
Well, let me change that then. Let me go brown mane and tail.
Brown mane and tail.
And let me go with a sort of like either a gray or like a tan, like a Dr. Hooves type color.
There you go. Dr. Hooves. He's a Dr. Hooves color. Brown mane. Cutie mark.
Cutie mark.
What is your talent?
I guess like a sort of like a pen and a pencil or like a paintbrush.
There you go.
Something artistic.
I'm thinking a small comic art page.
Yeah.
With a brush across it.
Some panels.
So you got like this cross. You got a comic art page with a brush.
Okay. And then beard.
And a beard. Gotta have a beard.
That would really complete.
Get on it, Fandom. Done.
Thank you.
They've done it before. They can do it again. It's happened so many times.
I did hide my high school art teacher in the Fluttershy issue. I did a pony.
Did you? Nice.
Yeah, he was like he was really an influence on me when I was coming up as an artist, and there was an opportunity to draw some like weird artist characters, and so I put him in there. He's on the page where the snooty art critic tears people's artwork up. He's the black pony with dreadlocks in the bottom.
Oh, neat.
Corner. That's my art teacher. That's an OC that I put in.
Nice. I try to forget my high school art teacher. She was so bad.
Really?
One that I hated at first, and later on I came to be okay with her. But then my main high school art teacher was amazing. Like, he was a great guy. He would show us movies and stuff, but like he showed us Eraserhead when I was in the 10th grade, which sort of blew my mind. He was just really, like, he's a great artist, and he just had to have a job for 40 years or whatever. So he was a teacher.
My art teacher was kind of like the opposite. We had like a substitute art teacher, and she was just freaking awesome. And then the main art teacher was more focused on study of the art sort of thing, instead of actually drawing. So I was like, please, I just want to paint and stuff, and just stop lecturing us. So But when we got into like watercolor and acrylic and that sort of thing, oh my god, it was all about painting. It was like my thing, and then I kind of lost track of it.
When I was in art class in high school, there were two kinds of teachers. I thought there was sort of the on the grid, where they would make you draw a grid on a photograph, and then you draw a grid on a piece of paper, and you sort of do a rendering, and you everybody that had art class did that grid drawing. Yeah, and then there was off the grid, and I think it was part of the curriculum that you had to do the grid, but how long you stayed on the grid, sort of to me, was a sign of what kind of art teacher you were.
I took an art class. I took an art class here when I first moved here in like 2000 at the local community college, and really wonderful colored lady. Doesn't know anything about it, but she was a wonderful teacher. And she said, "Okay, we need to draw something. Anybody got something?" I said, "Hey, I got a motorcycle outside. Bring it in." I was like, "What? Yeah, bring it in." So I walked my motorcycle to the center of the art room, and that's what we drew. And she said, "Do it any way you want. You could use whatever you want, you can do whatever you want." Awesome. So I got out my brushes, and I got out my pens, and I did dot stipple and brush work and all this other kind of stuff. I think it's the proudest piece of work I ever did. I was like, whoa.
You still have it?
Oh, yeah. It's up on my DeviantArt page.
Cool, man. I'm going to check that out.
Yep, I think so. If it's not there, it'll be there by the end of the week. So,
all right, good.
I got to go find it. But, yeah, no problem there. That's an awesome teacher.
Yeah. All right. What do we got? Questions?
I think we got time for like one or two more. Screwy, make them good.
So this one is, goodness gracious. Sorry, I'm just trying to deal with something. Fudge cakes. So this one is from WolfX1120. Question is, New Lunar Republic or Celestial Empire?
Celestial Empire.
Uh-oh.
You guys are already on record?
We're on record as Lunar.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have to fight now? Is this
No,
like the...
No, we don't have to fight. We have to, political discussion at some time.
No.
Not today.
Oh, we weren't getting political.
We're not getting political.
We're getting political. I'm going to get political.
No, we're not getting political.
Because I got some things to say. Florida.
We're not going there.
All right.
Next.
What else we got?
Last question. Coming up. Do it.
Oh, last question, huh? Can't bring this one up. Oh my god. So this is from Kalo. Question for Tony.
Kalo.
Any chance for a future comic series starring DustyKatt and Screwball?
Oh, come on. No.
For it. Look, all I need is for them to call me and say, we're going to pay you to draw a blank, and I will do it. I am open to anything. Uh-huh. So I think all we need to do is contact IDW and Hasbro, tell them we need DustyKatt and Screwball comics, and I'll draw them.
There you go.
Screwball's in the show, right?
Screwball's in the show, so it's like, yeah, I'm not.
Screwball, I can almost guarantee will be in comics.
Yep.
DustyKatt, I think we could probably work something out.
We'll figure it out.
Officially or unofficially.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay, shh, don't let Hasbro know.
All right.
But anyway, so we are now at the end of the program.
Oh man, I'm sad. This is
sad. We're having so much fun. So I right now have the weekly call-out sheet of wonderful original programming you out there can watch right here on Everfree Network every week. And we start out with this show Monday every other week, and then we go to QDR Crusaders Tuesdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. The CAC find the best art of this fandom has to offer and tells you why it is so good. I think they need to do something here on Tony coming up. CAC, I'm looking at you. So KPNY is the new show, Wednesdays on the odd weeks at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's a radio drama where the ponies of Equestria figure us out. They now know about bronies.
Oh, very nice.
Figure that one out. Equestria Inquirer is Wednesdays, bi-weekly, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's the source of truth from Equestria, straight from the desk in Equestria. Into the Spotlight with Osaka Jack, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, focuses on all those people in the fandom that are really great but don't quite get the spotlight they deserve. Osaka brings them to you. Sketchy Sounds live songcast is Thursdays, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, where Sketchy will do a 2-hour live acoustic set for you. Anything you want, he'll play. Post my video with Jay Holler and B-Vids Thursdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, where they premiere video and animation, showcase, PMBs, interviews with guests, all that really great stuff. Brony Breakdown with Saber Spark and Paleo Thursdays, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Saber Spark and Paleo dive headfirst into what's been going on in this fandom for a week, and they bring it all to you. Lunar Republic Takeover on the radio side, Fridays, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, where Nightmare Moon herself takes over this radio station and plays your requests all night long. So check that out. Mixology with DJ One Trick and DJ Midley. That is Saturdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. These two awesome DJs take over the stream and bend your ears with the great stuff, the tunes and the wubs. So check that out. Eastern Sounds with Frozen Sound. That's Saturdays, 11 a.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Just a 2-hour live mix of Brony dance, European style. It's that time, so that's beautiful for you guys in Europe can catch it at a reasonable hour. Saturday night songs with Michelle Krieber. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. When the Krieber clan's got some time, they will come on and talk to you on everything they've got going on. Blue Screen Bronies, Sundays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. The guys help you find all the great games out there, the gaming show. So check that out. They'll bring all the great games to you. Pegasisters Live, which is Sundays at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Emily and her new partner, Tay, will bring you all the things that we do here on this show, but from Pegasisters' point of view.
Welcome, Tay.
Yes, welcome, Tay. Welcome to the club. We have jackets. So,
all right.
That is everything you get to watch right here on Everfree Network. Every week.
It's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful, man. Takes me forever to get through that every week.
You guys got a lot going on.
We got a lot going on, man. A lot. And with that, sadly, we're at the end of the program.
Hold on, I'm going to promote stuff one last.
Do it.
Come see me and all the other My Little Pony creators at Comic-Con. I will be at booth 2103, San Diego Comic-Con. That's this Wednesday through Sunday. I'll be at signings, 2 signings at the IDW booth. Check my website, fleecedesign.com or tonyfleece.blogspot.com. I'm on Twitter at Tony Fleece. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Tumblr, but I don't really know how that works, so I'm not really tumbling 100% yet. Comic-Con this week, and then the first show after that is Stockton Con, which will also have an exclusive Tony Fleece My Little Pony cover. Pick up the My Little Pony exclusive cover at Comic-Con at the Diamond booth, and come by and for $5 buy your raffle ticket to win the original art from that. And donate to the Hero Initiative here on this fine program for your chance to win original art from the Rainbow Dash issue, which is in the mail right now on its way to Dusty's and Jose.
Where I get to fondle it and touch it and look at it. It's awesome.
And then pre-order copy of the Equestria Girls Annual, which I'll be drawing.
So,
and I start drawing that as soon as Comic-Con's over. So I'll be hustling on that starting next week.
And with that, gentlemen and ladies, we're done. I want to send my thank yous to Everfree Network for giving me this show, Cowboy Dave for making us look so good on the YouTubes, Screwball, my man, Amy, my wonderful girlfriend, Cara DeWin for helping me do all of this stuff on the back end, Everfree Northwest for being such a great convention. We had such a great time last week. BronyCon, which is going to be huge coming up real soon, and all of you out there for coming every time we have this show and make me look like an idiot. Because I make myself look like an idiot all the time. You don't have to
all the time.
All the time. So, with that, thank you very much, Tony, for coming and spending some time with us. I know you're very busy.
That's true.
I know you're very busy. And with that, we're gone. So thank you very much, everybody. And we'll catch you in 2 weeks where we'll have Tabitha St. Germain.
Hey.
Tabitha St. Germain is back in 2 weeks. So don't miss it. It's the week before BronyCon. We're going to do some hype. So we'll be back. All right? Catch you later. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye, Dusty. Goodbye, Screwball.
See ya.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We hate to leave you, but we'll be back soon. Good night, sweetheart. Good night. Good night, sweetheart. Good night.